everybody, it's Joe Vizio here. I'm out doing my thing, although today is not Sunday, it is Saturday. Decided to go out and take care of all my stuff today because it is Memorial Day weekend. And you know, if you're from the north, you know that on Memorial Day was the official opening of the pools and the lakes and the beaches and things like that. So I got two things that I want to say on that there. Number one, I know some of you that are still in full contact with your families, that you might end up going to that barbecue with them. I personally recommend that you don't do it, that you go in, you do your own thing, do something with your friends. You know, as Ollie always says, and as I agree, you know, blood is relation, but family is those that are around you and support you and are there for you and make you happy. Family is people that you enjoy being with. You're sitting at a barbecue trying to eat a half-burnt wiener, worried about what your mom's doing or what your dad might say or your sister whispering and just, I mean, you know how they make you feel. If you consider that fun, you know, you have a long way to go on your journey still. I used to do that. Every 4th of July or Labor Day, Memorial Day, you know, it was all I can do to get over to my father's house for that barbecue. And you know, to my father was really nothing more than a game of look what I got. That's what he liked to do. You know, my father has money. You know, he didn't inherit any of that money. You know, my family was on my father's side a bunch of poor Italian immigrants, and on my mother's side, you know, there's a mixture of different European, and you know, everybody come off the boat poor. And you know, I don't reckon that anybody really amounted to anything really. I mean, I guess that might not be the right thing to say, but you know, there was no real wealth in my family. My father has a little bit, and what he liked to do is, you know, when you go over to his house, he made you feel like you were less than what he is because you didn't have granite countertops or hardwood floors or 4 bathrooms and stuff like that. You know, not that he was just kind of openly, blatantly rubbing that in your face, but you know, he had his ways of going about doing it. You know, don't put that on my countertop. Man, you could never afford something like this. So maybe some of you go through the same thing when you go to that barbecue. So I suggest you avoid it at all costs. As I said, do your own thing. Go to your friend's house. Go to your spouse's or your girlfriend or boyfriend's family if they're not too crazy. Or I do my own thing. My wife's family has adopted me in very nicely. You know, maybe because there is a little bit of a language barrier, but I don't even think that's it. Her family's some really good people. we always do kind of these barbecue things over at my house. You know, about 3 years ago, me and my wife, we finally found our way to be able to buy a house. And that's one of the things that we looked at what we wanted. You know, we know how our family is. We know how everybody likes to get together and do things. And, you know, that's what we wanted. We wanted a place for everybody to be able to come and be comfortable. We don't ever play the look what I got thing. Anybody that comes over my house is really welcome to anything. You know, if you break something, oh well, we'll get it fixed. I know you didn't do it on purpose. I don't have to rub in anything into anybody's face. All are welcome. Just come, sit down, have a burger, get in the pool, play some volleyball, enjoy being together. That's a very important thing. Now, on the other side, you know, we know what Memorial Day is supposed to be for. You know, Memorial Day is the day that, you know, we have to give remembrance and give thanks to people who have fought and died in wars defending our country, no matter what you believe. I'm personally one that believes that a lot of the wars that are fought are manufactured for the purpose of profit. I don't believe that anybody is truthful with you by why we have to go to war. And if you think about it, I mean, really the only reason you should have to go to war is if, you know, somebody is invading your space and imposing their will on you. Then it's time to rise up and get your freedom back. But, you know, the politicians that be have their way of manipulating you through the media. Play a couple country songs that talk about God bless America, and you get that choked up tear in your eye, and next thing you know, you're fully supporting dropping bombs on brown people because you think that they're coming to take away your freedom. They don't want your freedom. We want their oil. Well, I would say we, but the corporations that be want their oil. So we have to go over there and bomb them in the name of freedom and democracy. Don't judge me on my opinion. I do a lot of research on this. When 9/11 happened, I was definitely a person that was ready to run my ass over to the Middle East and boot some people in the ass. But then I woke up and I did independent research on what happened, and if you do, it's absolutely disgusting at what has happened and what we allow. And this can be connected back to narcissism. It's what it's really about. It's narcissistic control. You know, these people think that they are on a higher level than you. I mean, look back like when you were in school, you know, that teacher's pet, the one that, you know, as soon as the teacher left the room, you know, and you whisper over to your friend, she's the one, Mrs. Whatever, Joe was talking while you were in there. Those are the same type of people. People that think that they have authority over you. These people ain't supposed to have authority over you. These politicians, and I'm not going to call them our leaders, they're not our leaders, they're just people that were supposedly elected to be our representatives, to bring to the table what we as a community want. We're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. And I think I've said this before. Think about this. In a democracy, two wolves can vote and outvote the one sheep on making the sheep their dinner. Oh, the two wolves voted. We outvoted you. Your dinner. That's democracy. A constitutional republic, the life of the sheep is protected. So you can't vote to eat the sheep. And right now, what is happening is that we're all sheep getting ready to be eaten by the wolves. And it's time for you to become a lion. Look into this stuff, man. I'm not trying to impose my political views or my what people would call crazy conspiracies. It's not conspiracies. Let me tell you something. The people that coined the term conspiracy theorists, if you look into it, you will see that they are the conspirators. So, as you're out there on Memorial Day, and you're eating your burger and playing volleyball and doing all that stuff, do take a minute or two to recognize that there are people that answered the call. Even if you feel that the call was wrong, these people still answered the call. We have to be thankful that there are people out there that are brave enough to say that yes, our way of life is under attack and we need to defend it. That's what it means to support the troops. Doesn't mean you have to support what they're doing. You don't have to support the people that put them in that position, because that was just narcissistic control that put them in that position. You have to just admire the fact that they did it, and you have to honor those who actually gave their life. Why would you give your life for something like this? Why would you give your life for Exxon to be able to pump oil out of Syria? That's what's happening. You have to remember that. Just look it up. Like I said, I don't want to impose my views on there. You might think it's a little bit crazy, but look it up. Seek and ye shall find. Non-fluoridated alkaline water. So, that'll be my little happy Memorial Day rant. You know, if you do go to that barbecue with your family, just remember what they are. Remember what they are. Remember who they are. Just eat a burger, get in the pool, and do your thing. But I recommend you don't do it. Do your own thing. Find your own way. When it comes to the holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Hanukkah, whatever you decide to celebrate, whatever works for you and your family, do your own thing. Make your own traditions. Get your parents out of your asses. That's all. So, I'll be out and about today. I'll probably make a few more videos. You know, if I don't, I'm sure I'll make some more this week. As I said, you know, I kind of had some things to get up in me, so I needed to get out. And just a real quick touch on my smoking thing. I have my patch on. This is the first day that I have used the patch. I smoked one cigarette at 8:30 this morning. That was the last cigarette that I had in my pack. It was kind of a goodbye memorial as I was doing that. I had to make sure that I get that one last one out of my system, and it had to have been done on my own terms. But it's now 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I have not had a cigarette, and I think that, you know, although this is going to get hard at times, I think that I am going to be strong enough to win this battle But the most important thing to me is how to win the war. I've won this battle a few times already, but I keep getting drawn back into the war. Maybe I can consider it a war on myself. You know, one time, my wife's sister, her oldest sister, she lives in Colombia. She kind of lives more of a native Indian kind of lifestyle. You know, in this country, she would be, I guess, looked at like a hippie, although she's really not a hippie. She's, you know, very, you know, motivated, very, very good. Not that I'm saying anything about hippies. You know, I got a lot of hippie friends in my life, and you know, I think the term hippie has been redefined over the years. I might even have a little bit of that in me. But, you know, best described on American terms, she kind of lives a little bit of a hippie lifestyle. Very in tune to the native Indian kind of ways of life. And she had told me one time, she said, and this is through translation, as she is Colombian, she said that once you can finally win that war within yourself that makes you smoke, nobody will ever be able to control you again. And I can believe that. And although there's been times where I've been brought right back into this war, I do eventually come to my senses and try and get myself out of this war. And this time I think I'm going to win the war once and for all. I don't want to just quit smoking. I want to become a non-smoker. So, you know, if anybody is listening to this, if anybody stuck it out with me, if you've been through that with the smoking, you know, any words of encouragement, you know, not that I'm looking to have my wiener stroked or anything like that, but I think that sometimes those words of encouragement can kind of help. You know, if you've been through this before, anything that you've done to help yourself out, I'd appreciate you dropping that knowledge upon me. Again, I would be much appreciated. And, you know, I hope everybody has a happy holiday. Enjoy yourselves, you know, enjoy yourselves. Remember what those who came before have sacrificed. Remember why they sacrificed. Do your research and find out why they really sacrificed. And you know, be good to yourself. Don't let these people stomp on you. And you know, I don't want to turn things too political, but I think in one of my videos, and I'll give you a warning in case you don't want to hear it, you might be able to skip over it. I want to kind of explain to you how the Federal Reserve System works. And what I'll tell you is based on 100% fact. So, peace everybody.